washing us.
Liam's like trying to get it. Are you taping?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hi again, everybody. My name is still Samsarah Morgan. You can't hear me? You can't hear me now? I'm going to have to yell?
You're going to have to yell.
Wow!
There we go. I think you kind of got it now because we have all these...
See, I'm a hypnotherapist and I don't have the projecting voice. I have the be calm, your baby is coming. It will soon be in your arms voice. That's the voice that I have. Can you hear me over there?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to be forced to pay attention to me.
Right.
It'll be all right. I'll be quick. But I do want to talk about a subject that I will not spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to give some time to a very important issue, which is the issue of infant and maternal mortality. Unfortunately, in this amazing country, we have really horrible numbers with regard to infant and maternal mortality. We are at last count, depending upon, there are different studies on it. The last one I looked at is that we're number 41 of the countries that lose the most moms and babies in childbirth. And in order to be added into that number, your baby would have to die before its first birthday, or be miscarried before its first birthday. So when you think about that, that's pretty horrible. For such a highly industrialized country to have such horrible numbers. Within that troubling story is the story of African American mamas who are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than their white counterparts, regardless of their income, and their babies are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth, to die before that first birthday. Excuse me. There's many, many factors involved in that. There's no racial group in this country that's doing great with childbirth. All American women are having a hard time with something that should be very rare and is absolutely mostly completely preventable. Mamas and babies should not be dying in childbirth. It should be a very, very rare and very, very sad thing. Right now, our focus today is on breastfeeding. So we're looking at the part that breastfeeding plays in preventing the death of a baby before its first year. And one of the most important things I want to say about that is, there's a truck over. Bye, fireman. The most important thing, the most important factor of all the important factors of breastfeeding your baby is the incredible closeness that happens between a newborn baby and its mom. Parents, daddies are fabulous, aunties are fabulous, nanas are fabulous, I'm a nana, I'm pretty fabulous. But that person who pushed that baby out has a special hormonal chemical connection with that child. We want to honor that. We want to have a society that makes it possible for more moms to be able to be that primary focus, especially for the first few months, that first year of a child's life. Okay. Little newborn babies, if you ever watch them, they forget how to breathe. They stop breathing. And that's because breathing is the last thing that they have to do after they're born. Right? It's the last thing that they have to accomplish to do. It's either breathing or digestion that they're working with, because they haven't had to do that in the womb. The digestion is completely different, and the breathing goes through the blood exchange between the oxygen exchange between mama and baby. They haven't had to use their lungs. So now, once they are born, they're learning to use their beautiful lungs, and they forget. You see them. If you lay a little newborn next to you and it's watching, it gets still. It gasps and starts breathing again. Now, what's nice about being close to mama and other caregivers, but specifically mama right now, her breathing, her respiration, because mama and baby are still the same person, and they're still kind of the same person for a really long time. Human babies get born when they do, because if we really waited till they were fully cooked, their heads would be too big to get out of their mom's bodies. So our babies are born still needing to finish growing and maturing. When our little ones are close to us and they feel our breathing and they feel our respiration, it reminds them to keep breathing. Thing number one. just that closeness, just that feeling that I belong here. You know, those of us who are spiritual, the little soul is deciding, should I stay here? Do they want me? You know, if I'm in another room down the hall, there might be a misconnection between the passionate love of the parent and the isolation of that newborn. Right? So we want to prevent all of that. Also, breastfeeding helps recover from any birth trauma that the family went through. If the birth was smooth as butter, it's still a traumatic event, actually. It's kind of designed that way, and I can give another whole talk about why it is the way it is. I'm learning a lot about why human birth is so interesting. But when a newborn baby is born, it is a time of stress. It's a time of stress that the mom has gone through to birth the baby. It's a time of stress that the baby's gone through to be born. And breastfeeding is the great comforter. It's the great relaxer. It helps all the hormone levels go back to normal. It helps the baby settle into its body. It helps the mama settle into her new role as mama. It begins the healing of her uterus. It starts the production of the breast, making milk. And just, it's a beautiful welcome to the world for all of them. When mamas and babies aren't allowed that, then a lot of wacky things will go on. They need each other to come back to what's called homeostasis, which is balance. The mama and the baby need to be together to go back to balance, not to be what they were before, but to be greater now, because they're a brand new unit. They're two amazing new people who, this brand new baby is starting its life journey, hopefully 100 years of blessing. So, there is no formula on earth that can give your baby anything that's in your breast milk. The formula cannot change as your baby grows and changes. The formula can't change. If you catch a cold, the formula can't make antibodies that actually help your baby fight the cold in the family. Very often, as a postpartum doula, I go to the family, everybody's down with the cold, but the baby. You're sitting there, maybe a little runny nose, but smiling, and the family's crying because they're sick and the baby's up. So, there's a wonderful website on the internet, 101 Reasons to Breastfeed Your Baby. So when you're having those days, when you're feeling like, my life is over, I can't believe I did this to myself, I recommend getting that, posting it up in several places in your house where you'll see it, so that you can feel supported around the fact that you're giving your child the most incredible, precious gift. And you want to give a big thanks and hug to your partner, because statistically, it is incredibly hard, often impossible, for a mom to have that solid breastfeeding relationship with her little one if her partner is not on board and not completely supportive. So the family is doing this incredible work to ensure, to lay down a framework where their child is more likely to live way beyond his first birthday, less likely to have all manner of autoimmune disorders, less likely to be obese in life, less likely to have to worry about hypertension later on in life, higher IQ, the list goes on and on. As I said, there's a list, 101 things. So I recommend everybody read that and take heart. I love how Laura invited you guys to make friends with each other. We live in a very anti-nurturing kids world. We live in a very corporate world. It's all about us getting out, making money, and being stressed out. And when people observe the time and the meditative states that you're in nursing your baby, people have a tendency to say, well, go do something. So you get to have the ammunition that says you are doing something powerful.
No.
And you're giving a gift not only to your baby, but to your grandchildren. Because, especially if you're nursing a little girl child, all of the eggs that she will ever have in her life are in her body right now. So the gifts and the blessings that you give your little girl child right now will manifest itself in the grandchildren, who you may or may not see depending upon how life is. You know, so just let that ground you. If you have a little boy child, you're giving him the gift of nurturing and tenderness and safety. And, you know, the longer you can do that, the more you're wiring him to be a well-nurtured, well-loved human being who can grow up and love other human beings. And isn't that a gift for you to have little boys who feel like that, who are tender and have open hearts and trust? Okay? So I want to thank you all for the gift of breastfeeding that you're giving your children and future generations. And I want you to spread the word non-judgmentally to other mamas. Let them know about folks like Laura and myself and Ginny. Let them know that if they want to breastfeed, they can, and that there's lots of help available for them. Okay? Thank you.